G'day guys, Ben from Extreme Creations here. Today we've got our MT09 shop bike here. It's turbocharged, it uses one of our turbo kits, and it's the test mule for all our new products. We're going to run it up on the dyno and give you a look at where the power's at. It makes really good power, but we're trying to just tame it a little bit in the mid-range. It makes almost too much power or torque in the mid-range, which makes it hard to get down the quarter mile quickly without wheel standing. So I'll give you a bit of a look at it, and then we'll do a run on the dyno, and then we're going to do some modifications to it, and then we'll put it back on the dyno and see if we've achieved the kind of results that we're looking for. Let's start by having a bit of a look, and I'll run through what's exactly done to the bike. Okay, so it runs one of our stage 1, if you like, turbo kits, which is designed to go on a standard engine. It uses the factory headers with a modified link pipe that mounts to the rear mount turbo. That's the oil return system that you can see in front there. This bike also uses swing arm extensions to help control wheelies, and it uses one of our side mount intercoolers, which is an option in the kit. This was a prototype intercooler. The actual production ones match the fake air intake, the look of it. The intake scoop is a little bit different looking. This one is also got anodized air filter housing on the turbo, and it also runs a anodized airbox plenum under the tank there, which you can't see. Engine wise, this uses forged H-beam rods that we have had custom made. It also uses the forged factory pistons that we've had ceramic coated, ARP head studs, PSI valve springs. It uses a ported head. It also runs 1000cc injectors on a custom fuel rail, because this one's running on E85. We've got upgraded clutch springs, but other than that, it's a fairly standard motor, I guess you'd say. You know, it has been built, but there's not a huge amount of difference to the stock engine. Okay, we'll do a run up on the dyno, and then we'll give you a look at the results. Alright, so here's where we've ended up. This is 201 horsepower at just under 12 pounds of boost at 9,000 revs. So even though the idea is to have as much area under the graph as possible, this top line, just for those that don't understand, this top line is the power, and this bottom plot line here is our boost. So our boost is ramping on up to at 9,000 revs. It's peaking at almost 12 pounds of boost, and then it tapers off to around about 11 right up top. And so this power curve is great. If it was a car, that'd be great. You'd want this to be as high through here in the middle as possible, because it gives you that that better feeling of acceleration. The problem on a bike is that going down the quarter mile, this is where it wants to wheel stand. As it comes on boost, and actually if I show you the torque, it's making just on 104 or 5 pound-feet of torque, right at that 9,500 RPM. So now that's great, but it does make it hard to ride fast down the quarter mile. So we're trying to make this top line be as straight as we can, so it's as linear a torque increase as we can get. And so that's where the modifications are that we're going to do to the bike, are aimed at trying to smooth that out. So what are we going to do about it? Well, for starters, these are the factory headers, and I think for the power level that the bike is at, we're probably at the limit of the factory headers. So we've got some aftermarket headers to put on it, which are slightly bigger in diameter, which is an 1.5 inch header, and they're more direct, so they're a straight header, so they don't have the big kick in them, and they just come straight down to a collector, and we've had those made. And then we are going to go to a different link pipe, which is actually going to have an external Turbo Smart Compgate 40 wastegate plumbed into it, and into a stainless steel turbine housing for the turbo, and it's a lightweight housing that will do away with all the internal wastegate system. So it's a whole new exhaust portion of the turbo system, and hopefully that will give us our control over the mid-range torque and mid-range boost that we're looking for. Okay, so let's pull the bike off the dyno and we'll get started on doing these modifications, and you can have a bit of a look at it as we go along. Okay, so here's the parts we're using. We've got a set of 38mm headers here and a stainless exhaust housing that we've modified to take a 2.5 inch V-band rather than 3 inch that comes on the housing. We've got the Turbo Smart Compgate 40 wastegate, which is a very nice piece. So now we've got to make all that fit the bike. We've got to do a bit of welding, a bit of modification to fit onto the standard turbo there. All up, this is about 1 kilogram lighter than the standard setup that we had on there with the internal wastegate. Alright, keep going. bit of a look of how it turned out. So we decided to put the screamer pipe, just dump out underneath the exhaust there. We might change that later, but I kind of like the look of that now. It's hidden away. We also decided to mount the wastegate on the back of the turbine housing. It seemed like the best spot. It's hidden away behind the swing arm there, and I was contemplating putting it underneath here or on the side of this link pipe with a feed into it, but both of those would have meant there would have been a lot of pipe work sitting out quite far from the bike and might affect ground clearance. That seemed like the tidiest option. Should work fine like that. We'll fire it up, give you a listen to how it sounds. See, it's not hugely different to how it sounded previously. I think I might throw it back on the dyno and just give it a run as it is and make sure that the system works as it should. I also want to try adjusting some of the settings on the Innovate to see if I can control the boost a bit better through it. So let's go and stick it on the dyno and see if we're still in the same ballpark of where we should be. So I just got it back in and strapped it down on the dyno and realised that I'd forgotten to weld in the O2 sensor bung. So I'll have to take the link pipe off again and just put a little bung in there. Well, I've got the bung there, I just got to weld it on. So I'll quickly do that and then I can do some runs. Okay, so I've got the O2 sensor bung welded in, the O2 sensor screwed in, so we can do some dyno runs now. We're on the right track. As you can see, we're making very similar power to previous, and because of the way the external wastegate it works and the boost controller works with the external wastegate, it's bringing it on a little bit softer and then holding that boost pressure through to the top, which actually increases our horsepower and makes this line a lot flatter. What I'm going to try next is to make some adjustments on the Innovate to see if we can flatten this out even more. You can also see here, if I go to the torque, that it's holding the torque a lot further through to redline. It's a lot flatter, which is what we want. So I'll do some adjustments and we'll do some more runs.